On a day where the Cardinals honored comedian Nikki Glazer, Sonny Gray sets a new career high, but not in a good way, in Monday's laugher against the A's.
You are Locked On Cardinals, your daily St. Louis Cardinals podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey there, Cardinals fans. I'm JD Hafron, and I'm your host for Locked On Cardinals, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, covering your team every day. Follow me on X at JD Sports Radio. You can follow the podcast at LO_Cardinals. We're on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram at Locked On Cardinals. This is a show that serves Cardinal Nation and gives you all the info about the birds on the bat. Today's episode brought to you by FanDuel. Football season is around the corner. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your futures bets now. Hope everyone had an awesome Labor Day. I know not everyone gets the day off. I certainly did not have the day off, but that's okay. I got to spend it working a little bit in the morning, then watching the Cardinals get blasted in the afternoon. And to make myself feel better, I just went to the golf course and blew off some steam by not playing very well, but still going to the golf course and just kind of clearing my mind before hosting MLB game night last night. Busy day, yeah. Sadly, not a great one for our St. Louis Cardinals. It didn't pose much of a threat on the offensive or pitching side of things in their lopsided loss against the A's. Now, if you missed my crossover with Booney from Locked On A's on Monday morning, then you missed the part where I said that I totally expected them to have a tough day with the bats. The kid the A's threw on Monday has been outstanding since getting called up. Luis Morales from Cuba. The A's paid like $3 million to sign him a few years ago. Now that investment is paying off, so good for them. We're working on that one, Cardinals. But hosting MLB game night allows me the opportunity to watch a lot of these other teams that most people don't either have the time for or the motivation to stay up late and watch them. And one of those teams is the A's, so I'm very much familiar with what the A's bring to the table. They're usually one of the last games of the night when they play at home. So I had seen Morales pitch already. I had seen him pitch a couple times and was very much impressed with what I saw in the previous game against the Detroit Tigers. So I knew the Cardinals they're going to have a tough time scoring runs. So that did not surprise me. What I did not bank on was Sonny Gray getting clobbered at home, nonetheless. I had the Cardinals winning this game in our prediction segment. Said it would be a tight one, but I felt like the Cardinals would eventually get to the A's bullpen, and that's how they would come away with a win, because more time than not, and especially at home, the Cardinals win when Sonny Gray pitches. He was 8-4 at home, while just 4-3 on the road. And early on, it seemed like we were in for a pitcher's duel, as I had predicted. Sonny had to wiggle out of some issues in that first inning, but got through the first 3 innings unscathed and seemed to be settling in nicely. It was a beautiful day at the ballpark. Can't complain about sweating too much. Meanwhile, Morales was doing the stuff that I expected Morales to do. He was pitching quite well against this Cardinals offense, who has all of a sudden been striking out at an alarming rate over the last 3 games. We'll get into those stats later. But in the 4th inning, things took a turn for the worst with Sonny Gray, and to make things worse, it was all with 2 outs with a runner on second. J.J. Bleday, the former Marlins highly touted prospect, was first pitch swinging, was clearly looking breaking ball, got one, and didn't miss it. He hammers it to right field for a 2-run home run. Then 2 pitches later, it was Zach Geloff, who just got called back up to the major leagues, who took a 4-seam fastball over the wall in right field to make it 3-0, little Apo Taco action. These home runs were the 21st and 22nd given up on the season by Sonny, which set a new career high for him. I sarcastically said congratulations to him in my post-game recap yesterday. I don't know. I was frustrated yesterday. And, you know, he's at that level, and we still got the whole month of September. So we still probably got 3-4 starts left. So that number is going to go up. Cardinals cut the lead to 3-1 on a blast by Ivan Herrera, which was a massive bomb to left field. So nice to see Herrera teeing off. But in the 6th inning, Sonny surrenders a leadoff double, then a single, makes it 4-1. Although they did erase that runner at second base. That's when J.J. Bleday stepped up again and again. He's first pitch swinging. This time, instead of looking breaking ball, he's like, all right, he's probably not going to throw me that again. So I would assume we're going to get a fastball, and that's exactly what he got. Bleday hammers it for a 428-foot shot to right field. He makes it 5-1. Home run number 2 on the day, 12th on the season for Bleday, but the 23rd given up by Sonny on the season. And Booney even texts me, he goes, J.J. Bleday hitting home runs against you? And I'm like, bro, Sonny Gray has had an issue all season with the home runs. It's been his thing. Then in the 6th inning, it wasn't the home runs that got to him, but with the score 5-2, which not completely out of distance, right? It's 3 runs. Morales is out of the game at this point. They were able to finally get him to get the, Phil Nevin to go to the bullpen, and the Cardinals needed a shutdown inning from Sonny to kind of hold things so they could get their offense back up and face that A's bullpen. And the exact opposite happened. They pounded Sonny into submission, leadoff walk to start the inning, big no-no, followed by a single, then a double to make it 6-2. Ollie pulls the plug on Sonny and brings in Ryan Fernandez, who promptly gives up a hit to Soderstrom to close the book on Sonny. 6 innings, 7 runs, 10 hits, 3 home runs, 3 walks, 5 Ks. P.U. stinky bad. Not what you need from your number 1 guy to start this week. At home. Against a team that, granted, has been winning and playing much better, but overall has a losing record and was without 2 of their best hitters in Nick Kurtz and Shea Langoliers. And still, you get throttled. Not very competitive by Sonny Gray after the 3rd inning in this one. And, and if it feels like Sonny Gray has been giving up more home runs recently than usual, you would be correct with that assumption. Those feelings are the force is strong within you, if that's what you were feeling. And I've got the stats to back it up about all of that coming up next, plus what Sonny had to say after the game about his struggles against the A's. That coming up next here on Locked On Cardinals. This episode is brought to you by PrizePicks, the daily fantasy app where making the right call can actually pay off. You and I make decisions every day, but on PrizePicks, being right means cashing in. With football back, PrizePicks is the simplest and fastest way to get in on the action. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player projections, and you can turn your takes into real prizes, all in less than 60 seconds. Playing PrizePicks is very quick and easy. Lately, it's just the fun way to stay locked in for the season. That's what you need to be doing. It's quick, easy. Honestly, my favorite way to follow along when it comes to the football season. I love checking projections. I'm a big fantasy football guy. I dig it. I like looking at things like the guy I just drafted in my draft this weekend. I took Bills quarterback and reigning MVP Josh Allen, more or less than 27.5 passing touchdowns on the season. You kidding me? PrizePicks, I'm going the over on that one. He hasn't thrown less than that since 2019. Thursday's game between Dallas and the Eagles. A.J. Brown, another guy I got, more or less than 5 catches in that game. Or how about Saquon Barkley, more or less than 0.5 rushing and receiving touchdowns? Yeah, give me some of that. And the best part, even if one of your picks misses, PrizePicks invented the flex play so you can still double your money. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONMLB for $50 in lineups after your first $5 play. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. Today's episode also brought to you by FanDuel. The NFL season, it's almost here, boys and girls, and FanDuel is making sure you're ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Now, I love using FanDuel. I've been doing it for years because it fits how you like to bet. Player props, building same-game parlays, jumping into the live action as it unfolds. It's all available to you on the app. It makes every game more exciting, whether you're watching your team or just keeping an eye on, again, the fantasy lineup. That's what we're all into, right? You have the one team that you're rooting for each week, and then you've got all these dudes that are on your app that you're keeping an eye on for your fantasy purposes, and that's why we got the split screens. We're watching all of it. It's quick and easy and the best way to add a little more energy to Sundays. I thoroughly enjoy it. I think you will too. So are you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. Thanks again for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen every day. Leaving comments on YouTube as well as on X or TikTok anytime you want. Your feedback always welcome and encouraged. We do have an important request. Locked On wants to hear from you. We put together a survey to learn more about our listeners and make your favorite podcast even better. This is your chance to tell us what you like and what you don't like and answer questions about our advertising. So go to lockedonpodcast.com/survey to get started. Everyone who completes a survey will then be entered for a chance to win one of 10 $100 Amazon gift cards. Again, that's lockedonpodcast.com/survey. You can also find the link in the show notes down below. Thanks again for helping us out. Now, when pitching in a hitter-friendly park, places like, the familiar ones, right? Fenway, Coors, Great American in Cincinnati, Citizens Bank in Philly, you'd understand why a pitcher's home run totals against might be elevated just a bit. The ball flies out of those ballparks. They were built for offense. That was the idea. Busch Stadium was not built for the hitters. In fact, it's a reason why I think some hitters might stay away if the Cardinals are offering them any free agent contracts, because they don't want to hit in that ballpark. It sucks for hitters for the most part. It's a pitcher's ballpark. But you wouldn't know that after watching Sonny serve up 7 runs and 3 more taters on Monday. Looks like the opposition's been able to hit the ball pretty well at Busch Stadium. And on the season, granted, he has pitched more at home than on the road. I think he's got more, 8 more starts at home than he does on the road, something like that. But Sonny has now given up 13 home runs at home and just 10 on the road. So I'm going to throw the ballpark stuff out the window because it really doesn't look like it matters. Where Sonny Gray pitches, guys are hitting the ball hard and far against him no matter where he's at. And things have been extra rough since the All-Star break. Now, I got this stat courtesy of John Denton at MLB.com. After allowing 10 homers over his first 108 innings of the season, Gray has surrendered 13 long balls in just 50 1/3 innings since the All-Star game. It is the second straight season that Gray has allowed 13 home runs in the second half. And again, the second half is not over yet. Still got this whole month to get through. And when I spoke with Booney on Monday, he asked me about Gray, who was drafted in the first round by the A's back in 2011. He was like, tell me about Sonny Gray. What's going on with him? And I told him the one complaint that I have about Sonny is the long ball. The long ball has been his biggest issue. If he's able to keep the ball in the ballpark, normally he wins because the strikeouts, they're still there. There's not a big dip in velo or anything alarming that would come with him being 35 years old. He's in good shape. It's the long ball, the home runs. They just continue to fly against him, and it stands out in a big way. And you know how people will say, oh, but, solo home runs, you can live with those. Well, not when you're giving up 2 or 3 of them a game. Maybe 1, you could do that. And it's not like it's one pitch that's been getting hammered. I brought up when Helsley was here how they would kill his fastball, but nobody could hit his slider. So everybody would just sit fastball when he finally throw it. They would murder it. That's not the case with Sonny Gray. This stat courtesy of John Denton as well. Gray has allowed 5 home runs on his 4-seam fastball, 5 on his sweeper, 7 on his sinker, 3 on curveballs, 2 on changeups, and 1 on a cutter. And he said those results courtesy of Baseball Savant. Yeah, that's everything. It doesn't matter what he's throwing up there. It's getting knocked out of the park. And more times than not, I'm willing to bet when you see stuff like that it's all about location, location, location. When you talk to pitchers around the league and you talk to minor league pitchers, what's the one thing they say is the most important thing? You ask them about it. I've asked them. I'm like, what do you think? Velo? Is it movement? And they all say the same thing. Really, it's about location. It really is. Because if you throw it over the plate, it doesn't matter how hard you throw. These guys are going to pound you. It's just going to happen. And Sonny alluded to that in his postgame comments saying, stay out of the middle of the plate. That's what he had to improve on. And I definitely didn't do that. And I definitely stayed across the middle early in accounts, and they didn't miss. So stay out of the middle of the plate and mix your sequences. I mixed my hands just fine, but maybe too many strikes in the middle of the plate early. It seems to be an epidemic for Cardinals pitchers. They can't stop throwing pitches over the heart of the plate, and hence why they have ERAs that are all over 5, or at least all of them are over 4 of the starting rotation. Sonny continued saying, this is one of those starts that hurts more than normal because I felt really good. My stuff was coming out good, but I felt good. This is one of those that leaves you not baffled because you know what happened, but frustrated because you did feel like you had decent stuff and couldn't do anything with it. And outside of that first inning where he was having some issues with the walks, he was looking great going into that fourth inning. There wasn't any problems at all. He had 2 outs before he gave up that home run to Blade. And then there was another one. And then you go to the 6th inning, and then it's a leadoff walk. And that sets you up for failure, and that's what happened. You know, these guys are MLB hitters for a reason. They're at the top level in all of baseball in the world. They're going to run into home runs from time to time, even against the best in the business. You know, 2 of the best in the league right now, Tarek Skubal and Garrett Crochet, have given up 15 and 16 home runs respectively. I'm not expecting Sonny Gray to not give up home runs, but they're coming in bunches now. And again, this is a career high for him. And when the Cardinals first signed Sonny, his ability to not give up home runs was one of the things I was excited about after dealing with Miles Michaelis over the years and some of the other shabby pitching that the Cardinals had been putting out there, where it just seemed like teams were teeing off on him. It was like, oh, okay, now we got a guy who's going to be your number one, who's going to be your ace. I know people don't like that word. I don't know why everybody gets worked up about it. It just means he's the number one guy on your staff. That's all it means. Nobody's saying he's an ace in Major League Baseball, just on the team. He is the number one pitcher in their rotation. That's what ace stands for. It's not, that's it. So everybody gets worked up in the comments section about it. Relax. I don't know why that word triggers you guys so much. But anyway, but when they signed him, the big thing was that, like with the Twins, he didn't give up a lot of home runs. And I was excited about that. And that has not been the case over his first 2 seasons with the team. And barring a miracle, I wouldn't expect it to get any better going into next season. And on top of that, he's going to cost a truckload at $35 million next year. So good luck trying to trade that away if you even wanted to. Plus, it's really not up to you, because if Sonny Gray wants to stay, he's going to stay because he's got a no trade clause as well. So not the greatest spot to be in if you are the Cardinals at this point. So another bang up job by John Mozeliak. As far as dude, has anything worked out for that dude over the last like 5 years? Like, it just doesn't feel like it has it? In the 9 starts since the All-Star break, Gray has an ERA of 6.44. He's allowed 36 earned runs in 50 1/3 innings, and his overall ERA is now up to 4.43. You combine that with what you had from Eric Fetty this year while he was with the team, 5.22 ERA. Andre Palante, 5.38 ERA. Michaelis, 5.04. You have the makings of one of the worst staffs in Major League Baseball. It's certainly one of the worst ones I've seen in a Cardinal uniform that I can remember. Like, and I don't remember some of the struggles in the 90s or even in the 80s and the bad years that weren't the good years for Whitey and company, but this is bad. And with Sonny being just as bad as these guys lately, it just, obviously, it's crystal clear where this team needs help at, right? The ERA for the starters is now at 4.78. Only 5 teams in the league have a worse ERA for the starting rotation than the Cardinals. It's crystal clear where they need some help. So we'll talk a little bit of offense. We're also going to preview tonight's game coming up next. We'll do some injury updates as well. We got some news about some of the guys like Donnie and Arenado. So we'll get into all of that coming up next here on Locked On Cardinals. Hey, Cardinal fans, are you still paying full price for gas? Well, stop leaving money behind. Get real cash back every time you fill up with the free Upside app. Simply download the free Upside app in the App Store or Google Play. You can do it right now. Start earning cash at the pump today. Use my limited time promo code, which is SEASON, SEASON, and get an extra 25 cents back per gallon on your first fill up. You can make up to $300 a year. $300 a year, you guys, from buying the gas you already need. You could spend that on Halloween decorations or costumes or something. I'm already getting ready for Halloween, by the way. So extra $300 would be nice. At first, I thought it was too good to be true, but it's not. It's legit. Real people are getting paid just to make their daily commutes, and you can too. Please check it out. You can cash out anytime when you're finished. Send it to your bank account, PayPal, e-gift cards, or for Amazon, and other brands as well. They got a lot of different possibilities for you. Don't let this offer drive on by. Download the free Upside app now using my limited time promo code SEASON for a limited time 25-cent per gallon bonus. That's promo code SEASON. Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions. It's another big moment on Locked On college football fans. Locked On and Fire TV present College Football Kickoff, your ultimate college football weekly preview. Drake Toll of Locked On Big 12 leads the conversation alongside two-time AP Coach of the Year Gary Patterson, former college star Jesse Holley, and Locked On's local experts. A college football preview only Locked On can do. Catch College Football Kickoff every Thursday throughout the season, only on Fire TV. So I'm not going to let the Cardinals offense off the hook in this one either. They did have a rough day at the plate, striking out 12 more times on Monday. Lars Nootbaar had 3 hits. Ivan Herrera had the big home run, but overall, not a great day for the offense. 12 Ks, as I mentioned, that follows a 15K performance on Sunday. 12 Ks on Saturday. What's going on here? Do we got holes in the bats? What's happening here? The total for the 3 games was 39. Their most strikeouts in 3-game span this season. It's the Reds and the A's, right? This isn't, the Dodgers or, one of these teams that sports a whole bunch of aces coming at you. That's not good. The strikeouts represented 48% of the 81 outs they made in the 3 games, and the team went 1-2. So that is not surprising at all. I don't know. I know that there's a lot of young guys in the lineup right now. I get that, but at the same time, striking out that much is just ghastly to watch. And it's a terrible brand of baseball to watch, especially when you're not getting the home runs. This is what we always say, right? If you're going to strike out 12 times a game, you better be popping home runs. You better get 2 or 3, because what's the phrase? Time to hit and a time to slug. And it looks like they're just trying to slug, and they're not doing that anyway. So instead, they're just striking out, and you're going to lose because of that. So I don't know what's happened to the bat-to-ball skills recently. Maybe it's just one of those slumps for the offense. I'm not entirely sure. Again, a lot of young guys in there. But it's not cool. It's not an enjoyable brand of baseball to watch. The team is going to hope for better results tonight when they face Luis Severino, who is coming in at 6-11 with a 4.82 ERA. Was their opening day starter for the A's. Went on the IL on August 6th with a left oblique strain. Was pitching pretty well before that injury. He was 4-1 with a 2.93 ERA in his last 5 starts. But this is going to be, his first start back in the major leagues since that injury took place, so almost a month. And I'm sure there's going to be a little bit of rust involved there. So Cardinals need to be patient, and they need to be able to take walks and take advantage of that rustiness. The offense will need to be up for the challenge. They're going to have to put runs on the board, because on the mound for St. Louis is Miles Michaelis, who, again, he pitched well his last time out. I'm not complaining about that, but the body of work tells me that he could just as easily get popped for 7 runs in 3 innings at any moment, any given moment, especially against this A's offense that continues to just punish the baseball no matter whether they play. I know they play in that minor league park in Sacramento, so the offensive numbers are probably a little bit enhanced because of that, but you saw, just like I did on Monday, it didn't matter that they were playing in a pitcher's ballpark. They were smacking that ball around. And again, they didn't have 2 of their big guys in Kurtz and Langoliers, who have been incredible for them in the top 4 spots in the order. They move them around from time to time, but both of them have been awesome. So you're going to have to put runs on the board once again. Maybe we get lucky and Michaelis pitches well, but you can't rely on that. You got to expect to get 5 or 6 in this game if you're going to win. Rookie Jimmy Crooks, who got his first hit and home run in Cincinnati, which was cool. Supposed to start tonight behind the plate. Don't have an official lineup yet, but Ali told reporters that Crooks and Pajes will continue to switch off and get playing time. So it should be Crooks in the lineup tonight with Michaelis on the mound. Reports are that Brendan Donovan is progressing in his recovery from a sore groin and toe, but is likely still several days away from beginning a rehab assignment in the minors. Nolan Arenado is scheduled to be back in St. Louis later this week to meet with medical personnel after working out in Florida the last few weeks, at which time the Cardinals hope to have a better idea about when he could be able to rejoin the team. There are parts of me that say, hey, just shut these guys down. They're veterans. What do we need to prove here in the final month of September? But at the same time, they're gamers and they want to get back on the field. They want to be playing. They want to be with their teammates. So if they're going to rehab to get back in time, then more power to them. Like it's, I mean, who are we to say, no, we don't need you anymore. We want to watch the rest of these guys play instead. Although I do. I want to see Gorman and JC and seeing Prieto and Crooks and, Church and some of these young guys. Yeah, it's kind of refreshing to see them taking at bats. The team is also trying to avoid the IL with right-handed reliever Riley O'Brien. Reports are the team was pleased with the MRI results that they got back on his sore shoulder. Apparently, he was able to play catch. So they're going to wait. So they're going to leave the bullpen shorthanded. They love doing this. But they're going to wait and give them a couple days and see if anything changes. And if not, an IL stint is not out of the question, but they're hoping that that won't be necessary. So I guess that's good news. All right. Thanks for making Locked On Cardinals your first listen every day. If you haven't already, give us a follow on X at @LO_Cardinals and at JD Sports Radio, TikTok, Instagram at Locked On Cardinals. Like, subscribe on YouTube. We're making that push for 13,000 subscribers before the end of the season. I know it's tough. I know it's not easy to watch, but if you're a Cardinals fan and if you're listening or watching this, I know you are. We're going to be with you for the rest of the season, into the off season. We never go away. It's not like we just shut down when things go bad or just shut down when the season's over. Hell no. We're still going to be here talking Cardinals baseball, trying to figure out how we can get this franchise back on track. You guys are the best fans in baseball. No matter what the outside world is saying right now, I still believe in you. And we'll see you next time on Locked On Cardinals.